Welcome. I'm so glad you're able to join us for our brain-based wellness presentation. My name is Lynn Morales. I'm a naturopath and wellness specialist near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've been a naturopath for over 17 years, and that means that I look at the body from a holistic perspective and work to identify the root cause of illness. My passion is to help you have improved brain health. This is a personal passion of mine after coming off a very long journey with my mom and stepdad dealing with vascular dementia. So I'm really excited to share this information with you today. It's part of our Access Brain Health, and you can learn more about that on our website, accesscompletewellness.com. And what I'm going to share with you can be used by anyone, even if you're not in this area where I'm located. We can make sure that we get you connected with the resources to get you the support that you need. So what's neat about this picture here is you can see how technology is about to do some amazing things to help us. Right down to that space-aged looking visor. There are some incredible tools in this device, and I am so excited to share it with you. So, we have a need for a brain-based approach. Stress is so prevalent in our society today. It's being called the silent killer. And this is a shocking statistic. Up to 90% of all illness is related to stress. That's from the National Institutes of Health. That's shocking to me. And stress may not be felt as stress. Rather, it'll go to a specific part of the body, like your weakest point, your Achilles heel. So maybe you're one of those people who has back pain or knee pain, shoulder pain, whatever the case may be. Where does stress get you? And have you noticed a correlation that when your stress levels go up, those pain points or weak points in your body also increase? So the question is, how's your brain coping? Too many of us are getting in that fight or flight mode on a regular basis. It's just addressing so many issues in our world with so much distress that we have to face. And it's really become a super stressor in this 21st century. And while we see this lady here with her technology in front of her, it's interesting to me how much technology can help, but how much it also brings stress. Now, we have a need for a tool like BrainTap, but how many of you feel like technology, even though it was designed to make your life easier, but maybe there's days that it doesn't? I mean, what about the days that you can't get good cell phone signal? That's frustrating. That adds to your stress. You're expecting to make a call with somebody at a certain time, and now you can't get a signal. Or what about Alexa? What if she doesn't get good internet connection? Oh my gosh. I remember the day that happened to me in my own home, and I couldn't believe how much I realized I relied on that little lady. I asked her everything, and suddenly internet's down for the entire day. And it was so bad when I realized how often I relied on her to ask her questions that, do you know, the next day when she was back online because the internet was back online, do you know what I told her? That I missed her. Can you believe that? That's how technology can really make us or even break us. But this is the scary part, the most dangerous epidemic we're facing: brain stress. Prolonged brain stress can cause tremendous imbalance between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems. So the sympathetic, that's your fight or flight. That's the thing that helps you lift the car off someone's leg with superhuman strength. And then you've got your parasympathetic, and that's supposed to be your repair system, your repair time to bring everything back to balance. But when we've got these two systems out of balance, where we are in sympathetic mode all the time, that puts us in something called sympathetic survival syndrome. More than 2 billion people are suffering from brain-based challenges. So what is this sympathetic survival syndrome? When we're constantly in sympathetic survival mode, the prefrontal cortex, now that's like the area where your forehead is, okay? The prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of decision-making, literally shuts down. It's leaving us feeling as if we have no choices, exacerbating the state of stress and creating a vicious sympathetic cycle. And the end result is sympathetic survival syndrome. The implications are enormous. Now, I mentioned briefly the personal moments I had dealing with brain health with my mom and my dad. But one of the things that happened after they passed was I realized I was in sympathetic survival syndrome mode. It was difficult for me to go to a restaurant and make a decision on what I was going to eat that day. That's what that kind of brain stress can look like. And I'm so grateful for the support structure in my family, the support system I found of some other practitioners to help me through this process. But can you believe more than 2 billion people worldwide are now suffering from this? So let's talk a little bit about this BrainTap device and what we refer to as NeuroSensory Algorithms. So we'll take these first two here, and we'll start with that strategic mind messaging. So in general, the visual imagery process involves the individual setting aside a period for relaxation during which a person contemplates mental images depicting a desired result or goal. And this exercise is done through the spoken word sessions to help the listener envision a consistent image, either literal or symbolic, of the results that are desired from the session. Now, visualization has been studied for decades, having been shown to have the power to affect mental states and improve physical and athletic performance and even heal the body. And when that's combined with other elements of BrainTap, these effects are increased and literally optimized. So the strategic messaging sets the tone. It's about articulating the fundamentals and bringing voice to vision and purpose. It then provides a roadmap by which the vision is going to be achieved. So in our practice, this is customized to our clients' individual needs. And what we mean by that is that regardless of what your goals may be that you're working on, there may be some messaging that needs to be uniquely addressed in you. In other words, an underlying root cause need prior to working on the actual goal that you're trying to achieve. And that may be exactly why you're not achieving the goal you want to achieve. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this near the end of this presentation. But let's talk about these binaural beats now. So this is where two different tones are separated by a few hertz. And the hertz are introduced, and one's in one ear and one is in the other ear. And then the brain perceives a third unique tone. So these beats work by creating this phantom frequency, if you will, which the brain then mimics. So you might be wondering, well, what's a hertz? Well, let's talk about a hertz. So the hertz symbol is capital H, lowercase z. It's a derived unit of frequency in the International System of Units, and it's defined as cycles per 1 second. So it's named after Heinrich Rudolf Hertz, and he was the first person to provide conclusive proof of the existence of electromagnetic waves. So the example here is if we play a 220 hertz carrier tone into the left ear and a 226.5 hertz carrier tone into the right ear, your brain perceives the difference between the two, which is a subtle beat frequency of 6.5 hertz. So that same frequency is associated with deep meditative states. So your brain naturally follows this frequency and you experience this deeply relaxed state. So BrainTap's proprietary algorithms have been shown to produce a state of calm and concentration in the brain, yielding the full effect of the guided visualization and resulting in extraordinary levels of performance that would otherwise take years of practice to achieve. Now let's move on to some other algorithms so you see the full picture here. So then we have these things called isochronic tones. They're regular beats of a single tone. They're used alongside monaural beats and binaural beats in the process called brainwave entrainment. So at its simplest level, an isochronic tone is a tone that's being turned on and off rapidly. So they create sharp, distinctive pulses of sound. So equal intensity pulses of sound separated by an interval of silence. They turn on and off rapidly, but the speed depends on the desired brain frequency. So they're very discrete, and it makes it easy for the brain to follow. So while binaural beats rely on balanced hearing in both ears, isochronic tones work effectively for nearly everyone, except for someone with complete hearing loss. So this is one of the reasons BrainTap's proprietary algorithms incorporate both types of tones. That's super, super important. Now let's talk about the next neurosensory algorithm, neuroacoustic harmonics. So it's another aid to the guided meditation. It's this 10-cycle holographic music, it's a sonic technology that produces a 360-degree sound environment. So it's in this sonic environment, the visualizations become more real to the mind, helping the user take full advantage of the power of the visualizations by creating a more receptive learning state. And then we bring in auricular therapy. Now you saw those headset at the beginning of the presentation. Inside that earpiece are lights. Yes, lights. Auricular therapy is like acupuncture without the needles. On the ears are all of the organs, endocrines, and body parts. Isn't that fascinating? So an acupuncturist could actually stimulate your liver by stimulating a very specific part on your ear. Well, these lights are doing the same thing. So if we're working on a program about, let's say, diet, and we need to address sugar cravings, it's highly probable then that the lights stimulating the ears will actually stimulate a point related to the pancreas, which helps regulate sugar. Isn't that fascinating? I love this stuff. So anyway, so all of these together bring in that relaxed response for pleasure, achievement, you name it. We're helping you reach your goals on a lot of different levels here. So part of this positive mind messaging is we have these unresourceful states. This is the state I was in after my parents passed and I had gone through such a stressful many years of managing their care. And this was the state I was in where sometimes you feel like you just don't have access to resources, like you don't have all the answers. You're constantly reacting to things, as opposed to being in a resourceful state, which is a higher frequency. A resourceful state is where you're calm and you're focused. It doesn't mean I don't encounter the same challenges or questions in life. I just approach them differently. I have full access to resources. I see solutions I didn't see before. That's what we're talking about in a resourceful state. And then all of this leads to, well, better decision making because I see more choices. I see a clearer path. I'm not locked up, so to speak. Now, another thing about this positive mind messaging is that you need to understand it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. They don't determine the stress level. It's your thoughts, it's your belief systems, it's your actions that determine your stress levels. So brain-based wellness is about enhancing our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions. So let's talk about the 6 steps to brain-based wellness. So it's about disassociating or eliminating fear and reassociating with a higher resource state, seeing that you have more options. Now, flow state is about being in the moment. I've done a number of webinars. You can find those on accesscompletewellness.com. Just search on the word webinar. And there are many different webinars that I have done where I have referenced flow state in there. So I won't go into great detail on this here. But step 3, being in the moment. Step 4, being in a position where you can start to not just be in the moment, but start to plan for the future, creating today your future tomorrow. And then looking at step 5, sorting the polarities, tuning into that highest intention of what's your purpose, what are you here for, and moving you down a state of creating what you're here for, what your purpose is. And then working with you in step 6, acting as if your future's already here, because it is. Being the change that you need to be, not only in your own life, but in the life of others. It's about operating in abundance, success, and love, and inspiring those around you to do the same. Now let's talk about that technology. So you see the headset here, and in addition to the sonic effects of brain tapping, the BrainTap headset delivers some gentle light pulses that travel through the retina as well as the ear meridians I mentioned earlier, those acupuncture points. And they send direct signals to the brain and guiding you into an unparalleled brain state. So let me explain what this is about. In that visor are lights, and even if your eyes are closed, those lights are coming in. It's why you can be outside in the sunshine and still get proper rays from the sun to create melatonin. Same difference. So maybe you are or are not familiar with a study of science called iridology. Iridology is the study of the iris of the eye. Yeah, the iris, that pretty colored part of the eye. Well, when people like you or I look into each other's eyes, we just see a pretty color. But trained iridologists actually can see all the organs, endocrines, and body parts etched in the iris coloring. And when you've actually had a body part removed, they can tell. They can look in your eyes and go, oh, it's such a shame you had your gallbladder removed. And you're like, how did they know this? Well, they knew it because where the gallbladder point is, the section in the iris where the gallbladder should be displayed or demonstrated, looks different to them now because the gallbladder's gone. Isn't that fascinating? So that's what these lights are doing. These light pulses are stimulating through the iris of the eye, addressing the visual cortex. Look at all the ways we're addressing interesting aspects here. So that pulsing light in the correct pattern and intensity can produce levels of deep relaxation known to affect things like serotonin and endorphin levels, with an average increase of 21% in one study of increasing these levels. That's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. These increases not only can calm and relax the mind, but also produce powerful effects in maintaining a positive outlook and optimistic thinking. Interesting. And all of these frequencies, the eyes, the audio, synchronizing the hemispheres of the brain. You got a left brain, you've got a right brain. They need to be synced to talk and working together. So your body synchronizes with this pattern, creating that relaxation response. So now let's talk about the brainwave patterns that are all part of this. So, you've got that beta state. That's the state you're in right now, paying attention to this presentation. That's your normal state of alertness, your stress and your anxiety. That's all kind of registered there. But let's look at the four, these four primary frequencies, and understand that the beta is your reactionary mode, the stress, fight or flight. That's what beta is. But let's talk about alpha. That alpha brainwave frequency is most associated with creativity and imagination and flow. Remember I mentioned flow state a little while ago? Flowing through life, right? Alpha is the intuitive mind. It's also the brain state associated with relaxation, tranquility, and even daydreaming. So flow thinking, or a state of inward awareness takes place in alpha. It's also known as a super learning state. Very, very neat. Now, what about theta? Theta training is the breakthrough state where you can reinvent your life. How cool is that? Theta is the inventive mind. It borders on sleep, and it's a meditative state with access to the other than conscious mind, where you have higher levels of creativity, learning, and inspiration. It's also the state that helps you visualize and realize your goals. So the delta, that's our next brain wave. That frequency is deep, dreamless sleep. Yeah. Delta is the unconscious mind. The BrainTap headset is designed, hear this, to keep you from falling into this state of sleep, which is why the light and sound patterns change throughout the sessions. However, because the sessions stimulate a sleep cycle, nearly everyone experiences enhanced and more beneficial sleep. So brain tapping creates a symphony of brainwave activity, a feeling of calm focus that's just right for learning and productivity. And each session is designed with brainwave balance in mind. So unlike meditation programs, BrainTap's exclusive neural algorithms gently and naturally guide your brain through a broad range of brainwave patterns instead of just the alpha state. The result's a complete spectrum of brainwave activity. Now let's go on to some more science. What is BrainTap actually doing? Well, those neurochemical levels after BrainTap, let's show you. 11% increase in norepinephrine levels. Now, norepinephrine is what helps you with memory, attention, and focus. It helps you mobilize to action. Then we have serotonin, and there's a 21% increase in serotonin levels. That's your happiness hormone. It helps with mood, digestion, and overall sense of well-being. And then we have your endorphin levels. 25% increase in beta endorphin levels. This is where we help address stress and pain management, immune system enhancing. It's also where our sex hormones are released to create overall joy and bliss in life. So super important. And here you'll see the Forest Institute study listed there at the bottom as a source. So brain-based wellness works to eliminate those unwanted thoughts, behaviors, I call them belief systems or BS, and thought patterns. It helps to create positive, new, ingrained habits, and it creates resourceful states. It imprints goals in the other than conscious mind. That's powerful. And it provides a positive mental rehearsal place. Now, it also helps to reverse that fight or flight effect that we referenced. Helps bring the body to homeostasis. More of a stable equilibrium is what we're talking about here. It helps enhance that neurochemistry, which I just went over with you. Balances the hemispheres of the brain. Remember, there's a left brain, a right brain, and the two need to be talking for health to be achieved. It also helps to improve sleep, vitality, and energy, boosts the immune system, and it's a key component in disease prevention, anti-aging, and wellness. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this. So I call this my attitude adjuster, my attitude and my belief system, or abbreviated BS adjuster. Okay, so we happen to use this device in a lot of different ways within our practice for a lot of different reasons. But let me just give you an example. I mean, you need to understand we have over 700 titles in 45 categories. Yes, exactly. So that's a lot of options. And one of the things we do uniquely in our practice is we make sure you're using the right program for you at the right time. And let me explain how that might work. So this is just one example. So let's say that you are working in our practice on weight reduction, weight management. So we have a number of, remember I said, titles that go under the categories, right? So 45 categories. So there's a category for weight. There's a category for exercise. You name it, there's categories. I'll tell you about those in a minute. But look at this example here. So bottom line, imagine that you're working on weight reduction scenarios and you're using some of our tools, our inch loss in minute, red light therapy, your meal planning made easy, where you're learning the right foods to eat. And now we're addressing the attitude and belief system here. Now, let's say that you want to run the program that says banish junk food cravings. See that second one there? Banish junk food cravings. But let's say that through the unique testing that we do in our office, we determined that what you really need is program number 4 there at the end. Embrace your powerful self-esteem. Now imagine if we work on what's happening behind your self-esteem, what's brought you to a place where your self-esteem is low. If we address that first, we'll probably knock out the junk food cravings altogether. You see how this works? We're uniquely identifying which one of these programs do you need, because there's that many amazing programs to choose from. So that's what we love about what we're doing in our practice. And when I talk about the different topics that BrainTap has available, let me give you some examples. There's topics for addictions, for grief, for overall health, menopause, pain, sports performance, anxiety, weight reduction, stress, sleep, and the list goes on and on and on. That's how many amazing categories and all the hundreds of topics under each category. So how do you access BrainTap? Well, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. One is through customized sessions. Through our office, it's a per session pricing, you pay as you go. It's 100% completely customizable to your unique need. Yes, your unique need. You can learn more about this. You can reach out to us to schedule an appointment through accesscompletewellness.com, or you can call us at the number here on the screen, 972-712-0892. Unfortunately, this does not work if you're not in the DFW area where we are. However, we still have ways to help you. You can purchase your own BrainTap headset. Yes, absolutely. You can purchase your own. You do need to know that purchasing the headset is one thing, accessing the programs is another. There's a monthly subscription. So the prices vary. You need to pick the one that's right for you. I'm going to encourage you to use this link here, https /accesscompletewellness.com/BrainTap. By using that exact link, we are making sure you're going directly to the BrainTap Technology website so that you are getting access to their warranty, access to info on the latest platforms for technology that they're using, the latest programs. We want to make sure you're not getting a knockoff, because remember all the technology I just talked about? It is critical that with all that technology, all of those lights, sounds, meditations, all of that is synchronized together. You do not want a knockoff. You want to go with the people directly behind this so that you have warranty information that you can access direct the people who put this program together. So I'll leave this up for just another few seconds. I want to thank you for being part of this BrainTap presentation. If you have any questions about this, you are welcome to reach out to our office. Again, we will do customized sessions for you where we will uniquely identify which program you need. And to my knowledge, we're the only ones doing that. Which program you uniquely need for whatever you may have going on, because it may not have anything to do Let's say it's weight. It may not have anything to do with you're eating the wrong foods. How many people do you know do that? They eat the right foods, but they still can't drop the weight. It may be about the fact that maybe someone very dear to you died recently and you're going through grief. You might need a grief program, and that's what we mean by the customized sessions. So again, or if you'd like to get your own headset, there's the website to go ahead, access your own headset, and just be aware of the monthly subscription. Again, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this information with you.